My name is Peter Stephan. I'll be hosting today. And today's a special interview because we'll be with Don Clackey from Philadelphia and his contributions to Life on Life Terms and his contributions to community under H2H production. But before we speak to him, I wanted to talk to you, the owner of Life on Life Terms, to each and every one of you, and kind of give you a feel as to what it is, an understanding of what we're trying to do in this episode. Our mission, we're committed to the mental wellness of individuals, their families, and communities through prevention, intervention, treatment, and education. That's a lot. And that's why we appreciate your support. Our vision to be the largest and most accessible mental wellness platform in the world. That's a lot. Probably more in my lifetime, but more than anything else, we share with you what we want to do. It's grand, it's big, but it's my thinking that everybody has something going on, sometime or another, at a geriatric level or prior. So I wanted to introduce Don. Hey Don, how are you?
I'm good, P. How are you?
I'm good, brother. And I thank you so much for taking the time. How was your day?
It was good, long day, but no doubt, anytime I back everything the LOLT does, and I mean, long ride. You guys do great. You guys do a lot, and I see yet more to come.
Yeah, and that's the thing. More to come. We're gonna cut to it because this is an historic interview, as you see on episode 11. The technical difficulties, I'll turn this off. But this was one of the clips that you were on, and I'll cut to it. So, excuse me, I'll cut to it so everybody can see.
One of these members of the community in Philly.
Now, Don, your initial reaction of what you just seen.
I was actually very impressed with, the knowledge that he dropped. Especially where he's at, and from the outside, like, we really connected. And what he said there is very, very impactful. He's very enlightened. You know what I mean? So with that being said, coming from a person who would most likely, from someone who's not familiar with that area, would be looked at, wouldn't even be considered to be anything, because we were so divided by category stereotypes. And the man has a great point.
He does. And one of the things that I find so interesting was just your ability to believe in what Life on Life Terms mission and vision was. It's why I started. I didn't do it just to be, what a grand entrance, but I want to connect to everybody who's watching it and the importance of what's going to happen. And something that is dear to my heart. That's the liaisonship position in Life on Life Terms. Now, when we say position, it's all volunteer. It's all helping the community and looking into assessing mental wellness needs. It's what I've been saying from day one. But Don has taken the time. And Don, when I speak of mental wellness needs and assessment, what comes to mind? And please speak rapid. This is very incremental, slow kind of flow.
Honestly, what comes to mind to me on the level of thinking that I've been since I dive into this, I believe that we all, because of the knowledge that we're taught as a child, and then you learn what many things we've been taught everything, and not necessarily is everything right. And I think we battle with ourselves because of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's
And
the battle like for you, brother? Talk to me if there is. I'm not gonna assume.
well, my whole life been a battle with my mind, from before till now. Like, I haven't experienced how I am now until recently. I'm learning about the mind, but the power of the mind.
Sorry about that. I made a.
It all boils down to the mind. So my battle was great, but I believe I achieved a lot, but still have a long way to go. But as my battle now, more or less, I turn my battle into faith.
And it's an interesting it's an interesting way to begin what we're going to be talking about in this interview. Don, the reason for this interview more than anything else is the position of liaisonship and life on life terms. We thought of all different titles, and we were like, liaison makes sense because it's 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 and I get choked up on this because it's essential. It's essential because you, such as myself, we have children. What is your take on the children and mental wellness? And I'm not saying Philadelphia, just in general.
Just in general alone, I believe that we need to do something now. Because even us, when we were children, that's why we have these problems. And there's many factors that come into why. But that's where the road that we're taking to deal with them factors.
Yeah, and with those factors in liaisonship and considering children, a liaisonship as represented in Philadelphia and we're developing and we're going, very slow. We're just pretty much starting assessing the mental wellness needs in Philadelphia. Facilitates relationships between life on life terms, leaders, residents, and organizations. I don't know any take on just that connection of leaders, residents, and organizations in general in Philadelphia. Is there? I'm not going to say a unity, but is there a functioning working relationship maybe amongst each entity? Maybe you've seen.
I believe there is. It's just it's scattered. Bringing them together, because a lot of people's issues, it all boils down almost to the same thing. Because the power of our mind and how we create, we all want, but what we're constantly bombarded with, it's like a commercial. How like they get their point across through a commercial. That's how our life is, from marketing and so many different avenues, that we are all the same. We're all in the same situation, and we're more alike than we realize.
Sure, sure, sure. Because social norms, we have to maintain that balance for social norms to exist. For us to go to the store, get a gallon of milk. For us to go to work. For us to just function. What we consider normal. Sanity, things of those nature, and assessing, mental wellness needs. One of the things in this, which is something which is more information based, not advice going to people in communities say, hey, this and that. At this point, we're getting an understanding of fundamental grasp at it. Numbers at this point. Once we start going into the communities, Don, how was that for you? Like you was in this situation right here. How was that for you going into the community and dealing with residents, leaders, and understanding more of the mental wellness needs?
Well, this is like, I just so happen to capture what I do often. You know what I mean? Because like this was kind of like when I was walking in the city, it was more or less a trial for my faith. You know what I mean? If I fear to go in any area, how much faith do I really have in God? And that's me personally. You know what I mean? So that's how it all started. You know, I have very strong faith, and that's kind of like my sacrifice.
And that's what's so telling because your story is being written from a poetic standpoint. I'll let you take that wherever that goes, and I'm not trying to do it. I'm still
Yeah,
kind of getting the kinks of interviewing, but I'll let that like we were saying, I'll let that nugget or gem be dropped. You know,
yeah.
I'm a trip. Love you to death, brother, man. So, Don, one of the big things more than anything, and I want to say the reason why we're doing this because we're parents, just like anybody who's watching this. You're a parent, we're a parent. People got things going on in their head. We start looking community. It's that simple. There isn't any riveted, back. I'm a parent. You're a parent. Your child
Absolutely.
has mental wellness needs. We looking into it. And I
There's
say that
always,
because there's always something behind the back door. You see what I'm saying? I'm a
yeah,
parent.
you can't cut a branch to kill the
Yeah,
tree.
I
The
mean,
root.
for real, for real. Is one of the main objectives of this, and Don, there'll be more about liaisonship is identifying the gaps in service. Now, when you hear that concept, gaps in service, what comes to mind, brother?
Opportunity to help people where they're not being helped. Like if we have a gaps in service, that means somewhere there's a ball dropped.
Wow, wow.
So, and we're here to, all around. Mental wellness is such a wide variety that, and it matters. So we're here to pick up the ball.
So when you were speaking with SP, looking around, would you say maybe there could be some gaps in service in there?
Oh yeah.
From a mental wellness perspective.
Uh yeah, well, that depends on how far does mental wellness drive into addiction, because that's a bad area for addiction. So I
Sure.
don't know. It's how they put that, but to go that low and live in the street, there's got to be something mentally. It's all ties to the mind.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Well, Don was having an excellent conversation with Don Clackey from Philadelphia. Don, thank you so much, brother. Thank you. We're wrapping down this interview. Any final thoughts and words as we wrap this down?
Um, Pretty much that LOLT, life on life terms, they're really here to make a difference. And I thank you guys. Social media, should I tap into
Well,
that
no, just
now?
yeah, we're gonna touch that, but just kind of final thoughts.
Okay.
Liaisonship is a big
Yeah.
responsibility, and
With
just
the,
any thoughts on that going to the community and assessing for mental wellness needs.
to actually be supported doing something that I love to do, this is like a dream come true. So like I'm ready all
Yes,
the way
sir.
down.
And we thank you. And with that out, Don, you're an artist. You do excellent music. Please share. Let people know what's going on with your music and also your social media because we gotta close this down or end this interview.
As for the music, when I speak about the mind, when I say it's very powerful, there's a story there. There's a lot of things that try to create awareness. As for my social media, Don Clackey, Kladky is my main. I have a group, We the People, that we try to share and connect with the people. H2H Promotions, which is heart to heart. Um, Instagram, Don Clackey, and just get followed back and network. That's what I do is I network on social media. That's connect with people. It's just about connecting and building.
Oh man, brother, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You've been a supporter of Life on Life Terms. You are Life on Life Terms.
For
And
sure.
real quick, I know we stretching time, and I'm sorry, I may have to chop another interview. It's coming up next, but no, my interview next is all great. When you hear the term Life on Life Terms, what's the first thing that came to mind when you heard the term? If you can remember, when you first heard Life on Life Terms, what's the first thing that came to mind?
The mental awareness, that approach, when life on life terms, As for the term itself, because as life's terms, you know, I don't know, it's been an impact since day one. You know, it's
Yeah.
hard to. That's why I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah, and I thank you, brother. And so we got to run. Love you, Jeff, my brother. A lot of things
Yeah.
happening, and everybody, thank you for tuning in. Watching Don's making big moves. Music is, you got it, Don. So everybody.
How you doing? This is Don. We're with H2H and also focuses on mental awareness with Life on Life Terms at Lolt. Here today we're in Tacony in Philadelphia, zip code 19135. Trying to dive into a couple different areas using the demographics to figure out what's going on and see if there's any gaps in coverage to where we can possibly make change one zip code at a time. So here today we start diving in a little bit, which we're here now. There's a Tacony Elmira Bridge. We are standing in a 2-mile radius of this zip code. Within this 2 miles, there's 33,000 people here just in this zip code.
Hi, I'm Des. In this one particular zip code area, there are over 33,000 citizens in a 2-square-mile radius. The average income median in this area is $35,000 a household. Given the fact that PA's median of living is $54,000, it is almost half of the average for the state. In these conditions, it is hard to have good mental health and facilities available for people in need. One of the biggest contributing factors to stress and mental health is financial difficulties. These citizens need help for their mental worries and stressors. Behind me is a decrepit building. These bleak environments also contribute to mental health.
Welcome. I'm your host, Daisy, and I'm here with Bishop Hollywood. How you doing, Bishop?
I'm good. How about you?
I am doing really well. Thank you for asking. So how's your day?
My day is going great. It's even better now that I'm over here talking to you.
But thank you for being here and taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As you guys know, Bishop Hollywood from small little city in Florida called Haines City, Florida. Small little town inside that city called Polk City Road.
How was it growing up there?
It was a humbling experience. It was great growing up there, being around people that actually cared about you, and you know what I'm saying. You can go from one house to the next and eat, and go in their refrigerators. It's always a good thing when you can go in somebody else's refrigerator and eat their food for free. We got to call that term freeloading, but I called it cousins. You know what I'm saying? We called everybody cousins.
They were really close to you like that, huh?
Everybody was real close. Like, if I did something wrong at one person's house, they'll whoop me and send me back home. So yeah, that's how close we were.
How was it growing up with your mom and dad?
Growing up with my mom and dad was great. So like, if I got in trouble with my dad, I always can run to my mom and she'll bail me out. Sometimes she'll snitch on me too, but it was great having both of them in the house. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get that experience, so I was blessed to have both my mom and father, the love and nurturing from both of them raising me. You know what I'm saying, in the same household. So that was great having my mom and dad.
That's awesome. Like a lot of people don't like grow up with their mom and dad, and to have that, that's a blessing, and that's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So what do you do? Like, what kind of artist are you?
I I evolve over time. So like I can go from rapping to singing to beatbox, and I produce. I could do it all. I'm a one-stop shop, you know what I'm saying? I don't just stay in one lane or one avenue. I like to be diversified and try everything. I can do rock tomorrow. I can do country. I can, you know what I'm saying? I can talk like this. I do a little everything when it comes down to my music.
What inspired you to make music?
Growing up in the church, being around music, so my whole life, that kind of helped me out, pushed me towards doing music. And you know what I'm saying, being around a couple of my friends, we were watching like the Temptations and listening to people like Drew Hill, and we seen other like artists in the area doing music. So that right there, it just rubbed off on me, and I started doing music.
So like, do you look up to anyone like in the music business, or do you have a best friend you look up to?
My best friend, and he's in the industry, Marty Price. He just dropped a new single, "Wear My Check," featuring Boosie. You guys can go get that right now on every streaming platform. A couple artists that are real major, that are legends to me. I look up to people like Outkast, Andre 3000, and Big Boy. I really look up to those guys because their music, like their style, it just changed hip hop forever. So I really look up to them, and they have like a big influence. You can hear it a little bit in my music now. Like Andre 3000 with the singing, he changed the game when he started singing on his track. I also look up to like Twister, Ludacris, like old school rappers, Jeezy, T.I., people like that. A lot of people from the Georgia area. Manny Fresh for making beats, because I make beats. David Banner, Jazzy Faye, Timberland, Dr. Dre, people like that. That's who I look up to in the industry.
What was your first, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
What was your first song you ever put out there?
The first song I ever put out was it's got some real explicit lyrics in it. I don't think I can say that on this show, but don't F with me, boy. We're gonna keep it PG-12, not 13-12. Don't F with me, boy. It was featuring my friend Marty Price and a couple other artists in the area. That was like my first time cursing, so it was a great experience.
About what year and how old were you?
I would say that year was like 2003, if I'm not mistaken, about 2003, and I think I was 14 or 15 at the time.
Wow, 14, 15, and they put you on a song like that? How did you feel?
I was scared. I was nervous at first because, like I said, it was my first time really cursing. So being that young, and you know what I'm saying, being put in the studio, it was something different. So yeah, I was real nervous.
And from there it took off, right?
Yeah, it was on like popcorn.
So how many singles do you have? Like how many songs did you?
So from then to now,
Mm-hmm.
I have a very large catalog of songs. Like I used to just sit in my house and I hear something and it make me want to make a beat, or I hear a beat, I just start recording crazy stuff. Like my catalog is immaculate. It's real long.
I hear you have a clothing line.
Oh yes, as you guys can see, I have my clothing line on. It's called Dominant. Um, Dominant means being the most influential person in the room. When you step in the room, I want you to feel like you just stand out and you shine. You know what I'm saying? Like the lion in this habitat, natural habitat, the lion is the most influential animal in the habitat. So that's why it's a lion. And plus I'm a Leo, so you gotta remain dominant. Dominant is a trait that everyone should have.
Yeah, that's true. So, like, what made you come up with this clothing line?
Like I felt like wearing everybody else's brand it's just like, why should I wear everybody else's brand when I can have my own brand, when I can stand out, when you know what I'm saying, something should represent me and how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here paying $40 to $50 for a t-shirt when you know what I'm saying, I can have something that I represent and it's cheaper and I can get it cheaper to other people, you know what I'm saying, without, you know what I'm saying, overtaxing them and charging them just, you know what I'm saying, the bare minimum, $15 for a t-shirt. That ain't bad. When, you know what I'm saying, other companies are selling t-shirts the same quality or worse for $40, $50.
Let's see what you have. Show what
Uh,
you.
I got t-shirts, as you guys can see, different colors. My sizes come from kid sizes all the way up to 3X. You got any color you guys would like. I got hoodies
That's hot.
with the logo. Those are $40. Then we got another shirt. We got the tank tops. The tank tops are $15 also. We got masks for $10 because you know that corona's out there. Who don't want you guys to catch a corona? No. Got jackets. Jackets come in black and white. These are $120 biker jackets. And of course, we got the hats. Any color you want in the hat. Right here, we got the purple. We got the yellow. I'm sporting the maroon for my favorite team, Florida State, all day. We got the red. And merchandise steady coming out. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your website? How can they get a hold of your clothing line? Like, how can they see your clothing line and order?
Right now, you guys can go to my Instagram, Release the Beast Inc. And those guys right there, if you guys want to see anything on that Instagram that you like, you can go ahead and send those guys a message, and they'll get the clothing out to you. They'll give you the price and get the clothing out to you. Right now, I'm just going through Cash App, but within the next couple months, my website will be launching, and you guys can go ahead and go on the website, and I have everything that I just showed you, and plus more merchandise available on there with my music as well.
That's hot. That's how I'm gonna go look on that website. I like that stuff. I like that hoodie too.
Appreciate it.
That's official right there. I want to sport that one. So being that you're an artist and you sell music and you know your interaction with people, how do you feel about, you know, in this time that's going on with the coronavirus and the deaths that are in that? How do you feel about that?
Right now with the times that are going on, I have to say that 2020 is the worst year ever, and it needs to go ahead and just get thrown out. I don't even think that should be on the calendar anymore. But with this coronavirus, I feel like you can't let that hinder you from, you know what I'm saying, striving for excellence. Even though we have a pandemic going on, you still got to push forward and, you know what I'm saying, try to achieve your goals. That's my thought process on that.
And that's important because everybody's like so scared of this coronavirus and what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and so it doesn't interfere with you trying to get out your merchandise and stuff like that to people, right?
No. Can't let it stop the grind, you know what I'm saying? Even though all that's going on, I gotta eat. I got a family to feed, you know what I'm saying? I gotta feed my kids that don't exist yet.
So what do you do in your personal life? Like, do you teach? Is there more to Bishop Hollywood?
I coach football, you know what I'm saying? I'm always teaching people new things. So you can say I'm always a teacher. You know what I'm saying? I travel. I like to watch movies and stuff. That's pretty much it. I'm a simple type of person with simple type of demands. You know what I'm saying?
Before this interview, where were you?
Before this interview, as soon as I got the call for the interview, I was just getting home from football practice, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? But I had to make time.